Hello family, what's going on? I pray y'all day is blessed. So this video, this story that I'm getting ready to tell is not a story that I'm excited to talk about, because it's just honestly kind of embarrassing. Certain things happen in it that it's embarrassing to me anyway. But I feel like it can be useful to those who are in the body of Christ, just to kind of warn you guys of the tactics that people are taking and the extremes that people are taking to control people's lives and ultimately dictate their destiny. So as you can tell by the title, don't eat the spaghetti. So I want to talk about my experience with a love spell. So I probably heard about this. I'm sure most of y'all have probably heard about it at some point. You know, the witchcraft spell that women use to put their menstrual cycle blood in spaghetti and then have the person that they desire to cast the spell on eat it, and then they become in love with them. That is true, slightly. That is a spell. It does work. It was cast on me, but you don't become in love with them. You become obsessed with them. There's a huge difference. Okay. And it's very dangerous, but it is true. It can happen. It does happen. And it happened to me. So I first heard about this being a thing probably like ninth or 10th grade. You know what I'm saying? Some friends were talking about it, and I just like, whatever. I never believed in witches, never believed in witchcraft. It was all just like fictitious movie stuff to me. You know what I'm saying? So in 2000 and probably like 12, I met this girl that performed this spell. I met this girl. At the time, I was in the relationship with the mother of my children, but I was a serial cheater. I'm not gonna lie. I was like the worst person to be in a relationship with. But I was dealing with just multiple random women, but this girl in particular, we met. She was always at my events. Like I've told y'all before on this channel, I used to do music. I was a rapper at one point. She was always at my events. She was always very supportive. She was always, she was willing to travel on the road with us and help pass out CDs and all that kind of thing. So I kind of like, she kind of piqued my interest because for one, she was very attractive, but the fact that she was so supportive was something that was just, it stood out to me. So me and her would like kind of, deal with each other on the side. She knew I was in a relationship and she didn't care. And it was like one of those type of situations. She was willing to like play her part pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But we both acknowledged and understood that we weren't relationship material. You know what I'm saying? To say the least, we both understood that we were enjoying our time in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like we were, for lack of a better word, we were both whores, and we were okay with that. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I would never date this woman. And, I felt like she would, but it would only be because of where she thought I might be going in life. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, he's just that great of a person. It was more so like, I want to connect to this person because I believe that he might actually do something with himself in life. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? So anyways, we would like, do our thing. And this went on for a couple years or whatever. And then I ended up having my youngest daughter with a different girl while I was still in a relationship with the mother of my original children, right? And so after that all came out and got exposed, I cut everything and everyone off, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like I was trying to kind of lock in with, the mother of my children. But honestly, by that time, the damage had been done. It was like one of those type of situations. So anyways, years later, y'all know I went through a heroin addiction. So during that time, around the like first couple of years of my addiction, this girl that, I was speaking about earlier, she popped up, you know what I'm saying? And we like started kicking it again, and we would just kind of hang out, do our thing or whatever. But anyways, to fast forward the story, she ends up bringing me some food one day. And it was a plate of spaghetti. Now, that whole witchcraft thing never crossed my mind. Never in a million years did I think that was a real thing or that anybody would actually attempt something like that. I just thought it was gross, honestly. So anyway, she brings me the spaghetti. I eat it, not thinking nothing of it, you know what I'm saying? And then, time goes on. She ends up bringing me some more food later on, and it was spaghetti again. But during this time, while I'm eating, she makes a joke and she's like, they say you're never supposed to eat a woman's spaghetti, right? I'm like, what you mean? She's like, you never heard about that? About, women putting their blood in the, men's food to make them like them or whatever. And then at that point, I was like, yeah, I heard about it, but I don't believe it. She just kind of laughed it off or whatever. But it stood out to me because I'm like, why would you say that? You know what I'm saying? So it was just really weird to me. You know what I mean? But anyway, she goes on to tell me that, like, I tell her I don't really believe in like witchcraft and all that. And she's like, no, it's real. My mother, she's like Hispanic. She's like, my mother, she practices Santeria and, she knows how to cast spells and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But looking back on it, it's like, dang, that's crazy. Like, she literally was telling me what was up, But anyway, so boom, I eat the spaghetti. Shortly after that, bro, we still hanging out. She, being cool or whatever. And in my mind, I'm like, the fact that this girl still wants to be around me and deal with me, even though I'm like struggling and not in a good situation, and she's still like making efforts to come see me and do all these different things, basically love bombing me, if y'all know what that is when dealing with a narcissist or witch. In my mind, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Maybe she really do rock with me, But I didn't know about love bombing and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, in my mind, I start to develop feelings for this girl, which in my, like, I never thought in a million years that would happen because I knew the type of person she was. She knew the type of person that I was. And I just knew too much about her and she knew too much about me. You know what I'm saying? It was like one of those things that I would never take her serious and vice versa. So, but anyways, I start to kind of like her a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I want to see her more. I want to hang out with her. And and at the times where I'm like not around her, I'm actually thinking about her. Now, mind you, like I said, I have been dealing with this girl on and off since 2013. Right now, it's like 2017. And I've never thought about her as much as I was thinking about her at this current time. So anyways, to make a long story short, we end up getting in a relationship. And then all hell breaks loose, man. It was all right for like the first couple months. And then it was just like, I don't know. Like, I was just totally head over heels for her. And I couldn't explain it, you know what I'm saying? And I was embarrassed to tell people about it because of her history and who she was. But like, I couldn't help how I was feeling. And during this time, what was really weird about it is like, I had never gone to jail as many times as I did during that time, that 2-year period that we were together. And looking back at it, I feel like that was God trying to get me, like trying to save me from what I was in the midst of and didn't know. I kept getting locked up for stupid stuff, bro. Like, it did not make sense to me. Like, it was crazy. I think I went to jail like 6 or 7 times within a 2-year period. That had never in my life happened. So, anyways, but during that time, every time I would go to jail, somebody would speak to me about God. It was really weird. But let me get back to her. So things get really bad around 2018, like mid 2018, right? We're fighting a lot. You know what I'm saying? I know she's cheating. I'm seeing evidence of it. People kind of telling me in weird ways and stuff, but I don't care. I still want to be with her. It was really weird, bro. And I was just so obsessed with this girl and I couldn't snap out of it. You know what I'm saying? To the point where, and this is the embarrassing part. So one night we get into this fight, right? So I have her drop me off in the next city over. It was like 15, 16 miles away at a friend's house. Actually, it was like at a trap house. And so a few hours pass by. I'm trying to call her. She's not answering, this and that. So now in my mind, I'm tripping, right? So I come up with this elaborate scheme to like walk back to the city that we lived in, walk to the house just to see what this girl is doing, which is crazy, totally outside of my character. Like it was, I don't even know what I had going on. But anyways, so it's like probably 9, 10 o'clock at night. I start walking. I end up making it to the city we lived in, probably like 3, 4 in the morning. And I see this apartment complex, right? And I look in the parking lot and I see a car that looks just like ours. So somehow, between the lack of sleep, this spell, and the drugs, I developed this elaborate story in my mind that that's her car and she's at somebody's apartment, and that's why she's not answering. So what do? Like a psychotic maniac, I just see the first apartment with this, or the only apartment with the light on through the window. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's the apartment she's got to be at. So I knock on the door, right? And this Hispanic dude opens the door. Now, in my mind, I'm like, oh, yeah, she, dates Hispanic guys, so she must be here. I don't know. Please don't judge me. But anyways, so I'm like, hey, bro, tell such and such to come to the door. I don't want to say her name. And he's like, he didn't know what I was talking about. But I felt like he was trying to play me in the moment. So I'm like, bro, I know she in here. Tell her to come to the door. And, he said something. And true story, bro. I actually went to jail for this. This is a documented story in the Florida court system. So when he said what he said, I just hit him. I don't even know why, you know what I'm saying? But I hit him and moved him out the way, walked in this man's house. True story. And went to looking through closets and under the beds and all. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, mind you, this is in Florida, where we have something called the Castle Doctrine. And the Castle Doctrine states that if someone uninvitedly comes into your house that you do not know, you have legal right to kill that person. This man could have killed me in that house. You know what I'm saying? I done already hit him. And then I'm in his house going through his stuff. Like, he could have killed me, bro. You know what I'm saying? But thank God. God was with me, even in my darkness. So I didn't find her in the house, needless to say. So I come back outstairs. Now, mind, this is on the second floor. So I come back out the house. And as I'm coming down the stairs, there's this bright light shining at me. It's the police. You don't call the police. So they, put your hands up, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So they, put me in handcuffs, arrest me, ask me what's going on. I tell them, and I end up going to jail. That's how psyched out this spell had me. That's how obsessed this spell had me over this woman. You know what I'm saying? So then while I'm in jail, I talk to her, we work everything out. And like an idiot, like I'm so just, crazy in love for this girl, I ended up tattooing her name on my face, bro. Like while I'm in jail for this situation, it was just, bro, listen, man, witchcraft works, okay? Love spells work, but they don't work to the degree that people think they do. They think that this person is going to genuinely be in love with them. No, this person is going to be obsessed with you because it is a demonic spirit that is causing them to desire you. You know what I'm saying? This isn't a genuine love. This is demonic. So it's a demon that is putting these thoughts in this person's head and influencing this person's desires. And that's exactly, so, it was not, I'm sure, what she intended. Like I said, it caused me to be this crazy person. And, I don't recommend that, man. Like, witchcraft never goes how you plan. You know what I'm saying? It's when you make a deal with the devil, bro, it's not what you think it's going to be. And I advise y'all to stop playing with that stuff. People have really gotten hurt because they casted a spell on somebody that they wanted to be involved with, and that person turned into a maniac. And you know what I'm saying? It's not, leave that stuff alone. If you dealing with it, repent, turn to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Allow him to send you somebody who is genuinely going to love you with the love of Christ, love you properly. You know what I'm saying? Not cast a spell on somebody who don't know how to love in the first place. Like, I didn't know how to love. You feel me? I had never experienced true love and didn't know how to give it. None of us truly know how to give true love until we experience God for ourselves. And that's just the truth, bro. You know what I'm saying? We know how we have our own version of what love is and what we think it should look like. But truth be told, I didn't know what love actually looked like or felt like until I met Jesus. And it's nothing like any love that I've ever experienced from a human being. So we've been shortening ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, this video is going on longer than I desire for it to go. But yes, it is real. Okay, it does work to a degree, but it's not going to turn out how you desire for it to turn out. Okay, so repent and seek Jesus, man. And if it's your will, if it's His will to have you, married, then He will make it happen for you. So I pray this message reaches what it needs to reach. God bless you.